What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video, and today I wanted to have a little bit of a talk about should you buy fake sneakers in 2020. And you know what, before we begin, how's the new setup looking? Like, I've been wanting to do a little bit of a depth in the background and with some practical light over there as well. PC, there's a video about that coming later. But yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into the video. In this first segment, I'm going to be talking about why you shouldn't purchase fakes in 2020. And here's the first and probably the most obvious tip. You're supporting a fake sneaker industry that's ripping off the big names. And what I mean about that is that there's so many fake manufacturers, they're ripping off the brand that those companies have built over the past decades or so. And I just see that as a bit of a disrespect when it comes to brands that invest millions of dollars into research and development and whatnot. So yeah, that's the first reason why you shouldn't. Just you're supporting a fake industry. And second, it actually floods the resale market with that. And I know that a lot of people, I really don't like to judge people, but a lot of people, they do buy grade A fakes of sneakers, those one-to-one copies of, say, like a pair of off-white Chicago ones, and then they actually sell it off as being legit because they take advantage of the fact that they are actually super identical clones, but the difference is one is licensed by Nike and one is obviously not. So with that case, they actually flood the resale market, and it gets into the stream of things, the stream of resellers buying and selling from one another, making profits here and there, and then they actually don't realize that they're buying and selling a fake item. So with that, it's just really dangerous as people who don't really consider how the shoes that they're actually buying are indeed fake. So that's one reason, again, on why buying fake sneakers is just a no-go in 2020. The third reason why you shouldn't buy fakes is that you're actually lying to yourself, because when you buy fakes, you're literally saying that I will buy into this hype just because it's an expensive shoe, because it's the thing to buy now and it's popping. So say I wanted a pair of Travis Scott ones, didn't have $2,000 to drop in it, so I spent $200 on a fake version just to try and off and play it that you made it, or you got a really dope pair of sneakers. So yeah, I just sadly I do see a lot of people buying fake Yeezys, buying fake sneakers just to pretend that they have something real. And it says a lot about your character, because are you easily influenced by what's going on in the current culture and sneakers, or are you just like that guy that doesn't really care what anyone else thinks and just does his own thing because he likes it? Yeah, just a lot of people, they do buy fakes just to try and impress others, and that's where I draw the line, because then you're not living for yourself, you're just actually living for the other people. Yeah, that just gets into another big problem. And that leads into another tip about what's your intent. What's your intent with the sneaker? Because sometimes people actually do buy the sneakers just because they genuinely like the look and the idea of the sneaker, but don't want to pay the hefty price tag. They're also a couple times out of 10, you have a kid just wants to impress his group or whatnot, or just he wants to impress people walking down the streets to look at their sneakers and to admire them and to show them admiration, saying, oh, you know what, oh damn bro, I see you got the new Chicago Air Jordan 1s, pretty nice. And he wants to sort of be in that area of being up in that class of sneakerheads where everybody's got their grills on. The last tip on why you shouldn't buy fakes in 2020 is that the thing is, you don't need the most expensive shoes to be a sneakerhead. Obviously I know people know this, but I did see this a lot back in 2016 with the Yeezy V2 hit craze. Everybody wanted a pair of Yeezys because that was the thing to buy. Just like in 2017, off-white sneakers were the thing to buy, so everybody just wanted those. So with that, you had a lot of people trying to fake it to make it, you know what I'm saying? I know you guys have probably heard the saying, fake it till you make it, and no, that does not apply for sneakers as well. Yeah, you can't just pretend that you've made it and then magically you're gonna make it. You gotta do something to get you there. And I don't know if that's working 3 jobs, I don't know if that's reselling crap on Instagram or whatnot. These things do take time and work and a bit of hustle to get you where you see Caius, Blazenberry. They've been making videos for 10 years. They didn't, success doesn't happen overnight. Just know in 2020, people judge you by your personality and by the way you treat others. They don't judge how much drip that you got on your feet, you know what I'm saying? So I think people have intent wrong in 2020. That's why people still buy fakes, to try and impress others. And that's where I really draw the line again. I've been really surprised and impressed seeing the change in the sneaker industry moving forward from everyone being a flexer to now people getting clowned on for flexing too much. I'm pretty sure that that's the majority of people, but you always have those select few that want to be the biggest flexer in their friend group and whatnot. And they can do what they do, but I really hate when that influences other people and them thinking that that it's expected for them to try and flex the same way. So this brings us into our next segment, which is why people actually buy fakes. And number one, again, it draws inspiration from my previous tips, is that people want the look of a fake sneaker without spending the hefty price. I've been really feeling the Off-White UNC Jordan 1s. Those are like $2,000 to $3,000. I might buy them used if I do purchase them for like, I think around like what, $1,300 maybe. But yeah, the people that aren't that passionate about the sneakers but like the look of it, there's a couple pairs of Jordan 1s in the back. I know a lot of people have been on those like TikTok up the hype of the Jordan 1s just because they were so aesthetically pleasing. Everyone wanted the vintage look and whatnot and the retro look, so people started buying Air Jordan 1s, just like those TikTok girls have been on those Obsidian Jordan 1s. Like everybody's like been wanting retros, and those have been the aesthetic shoe to buy. Retro Jordan 1s, Air Force 1s, and I really feel like people have been thinking that the Air Jordan 1 is a class above the Air Force 1, just because obviously anyone can get a pair of Air Force 1s, and there's only a slight few that can get an Obsidian pair of Jordan 1s or black toes, whatnot. The people that want the look of a nice pair of Air Jordan 1s, Jordan 1 prices have been skyrocketing recently. That's mostly due to the Last Dance documentary. It was essentially a documentary about the GOAT himself, Michael Jordan, that's caused a serious price inflation of all OG colorways of retro Jordans. That's basically ruled out any possibilities of anyone getting a pair for a decent price. So yeah, that's why people gravitate towards buying fake sneakers, just because it's more accessible. And you have those people that say, oh, it does the same thing, looks the same, costs like a tenth of the price. And you know, I guess that's sort of valid, but for the people that are in it for the culture, not just for the looks, that's where the real sneakerheads deviate from the fake sneakerheads. And yeah, that's sort of why people still buy fakes in 2020. It's pretty understandable, and I understand that the big price tags of the big colorways of the Jordans or any sort of like Yeezys or any sort of hype sneakers like the Off-Whites or Travis Scotts. I do understand why people gravitate towards that, just because they're just in it for the looks, not really for the culture behind it. And another reason why is that because it's a fake sneaker, you can beat them up and not really care about the look of it. I know that some sneakerheads, they really like taking care of their sneakers, like they put crease shields in them, like they walk like a duck, you know what I'm saying? They put like the sole shields on the bottoms of the sneakers, and they really pride and take care of their shoes. While that's all cool, when you got a pair of $2,000 Off-Whites, probably like the OG pair, the one that was just all white, you probably want to keep those icy, don't you? The people that have those $2,000 pairs of Off-Whites, they really pride themselves and take care of them, and like they don't wear them to go out, like if it's raining or muddy or whatever. They pull them out for the fresh occasions and for the occasions where it's worth rocking. And I myself have been contemplating, like, you know, if ever I have like a pair of triple white sneakers, I look at the occasion and I'm like, is it worth rocking these triple white sneakers? Like, is it worth the possibility of them getting dirty or them getting wrecked? And those were just for a pair of like cream V2s. Like I remember I had a pair, didn't want to wear them anywhere. But for people who have those really expensive sneakers, I doubt that they would want to beat those up if that's the only pair of shoes that they have. But when you buy fake sneakers, for example, I really understand that they only cost like what, a couple $100, maybe $100 or $200, which is still insane, but not that insane compared to the resale prices of the real counterparts. When people buy fakes, they can just beat those up wherever they want, and it doesn't really hurt them that much because obviously they're fakes. They can get a replacement pair for like $200 and it doesn't really hurt them. So that means they can beat up those sneakers and just wear them anywhere and still get the same look and appreciation from others, I'd say. I've just been seeing the fake sneaker industries grow really heavily over the past couple of years, just because people are starting to get more and more into sneakers. Like I've been seeing people who aren't really sneakerheads as for say, them buying really expensive colorways of the Jordan 1s. Like I know Charli D'Amelio, I don't know if she's a sneakerhead right now, but I've seen that she's been wearing like the Obsidian Jordan 1s, Converse Off-Whites, and she was actually in a Cookies and Kicks video on TikTok recently, so I know that they're trying to do something there. Seeing Charli D'Amelio, one of the most influential TikTokers and the biggest TikToker right now, wearing the most expensive shoes and all that, it might influence her followers and her audience to buy the same sneakers as well. Like I know Charli D'Amelio obviously has no problems affording the sneakers, but her audience might. That way they might gravitate to buying fake shoes just to get the same look. Just again, some people don't really care about the culture, they're just in it for the looks. Like, and when you've been in the sneaker game for that long, you really hear those arguments with people not understanding the culture behind it, and they're just like, hey man, it looks the same, you know, who's gonna tell? It it's really cheap as well, so I'm gonna buy fakes. I don't really have a response to that, but just know why you're gonna buy fakes. I know the subreddit rep sneakers or something like that, that's been popping recently. People have been talking about Coco. I don't know the other fake manufacturers, but they've been big names in this fake sneaker world. Like I think Rep Fam as well is another subreddit. Trust me, I don't know. And yeah, that's basically my take on why people buy fake sneakers in 2020. Yeah, just let me know down in the comments below if you agree or disagree. And yeah, that's basically my take. I'll see you guys in another video. Peace.